Robert Heffernan with Endotech, exclusively for the Pareto Network and Endotech subscribers. This is Blockchain Vitals, our weekly segment. Weekly, man, that fractal is key. I am a master endotechnician, firmly in the matrix when I'm trading cryptos. And wow, what a week. What a week. I mean, I really thought this week would have a completely different setup. Oh, a little bit of news and a little bit of week longs running for the hills. And we have a completely different setup that I will get to in the Blockchain Vitals section of the segment. You need to be an Endotech subscriber or a Pareto token holder to watch that part. If you're watching at endotech.io, you're going to stay with me through the whole segment. If you watch this on YouTube and you're interested in the actionable trading portion of the show, please go to endotech.io and subscribe or buy Pareto tokens. All right, let's do the rounds. Doing the rounds, we do it every day. It's our little hour. I say that loosely. It's my thoughts on what's going on in the space in crypto land. And the first thing I want to talk about is, the harder you squeeze, the harder you squeeze, the more things squeeze out of your hands. And we're seeing this. There was an article about the Chinese using VPNs and any other means possible to continue trading cryptos. And you will see that. There's also some really interesting things going on, and I really think it will disrupt in China. China so far has been able to really alter the viewable information by its citizenry, by controlling the internet and controlling search engines and controlling what content their people get to consume. But people are wise, and technology is even wiser. And, so look for very interesting times, as they say, going forward here in China. Another big news item in China, not related to cryptos, but related on the commodity side, is African swine fever. And I bring this up because there is a lot of disinformation or non-information about this incredibly challenging disease in the hog market, in the hog industry in China. And they have not been very forthcoming with information on what is going on the ground. And people are starting to take matters into their own hands, and actually people are getting in trouble for trying to disseminate accurate information. They call it rumor mongering, I believe, in China. But anyway, people are getting around the ban or the restrictions of trading in China, and I think that just continues. You just continue to see that happening. Another article kind of reiterating what I've said for months now, and the problem with the Ethereum price discovery or chart is that there is just a continuing sale of Ethereum by ICOs because they don't have, the ICO does not have costs in crypto. They have costs in fiat currencies. So they raise a bunch of money in Ethereum, and they need to pay their bills. So there's just a constant natural seller of Ethereum. And wait till you see the price points now in Ethereum on the weekly as far as where they can go to. I did look also between this year and last year, and if we do turn around and tell a bull market story here, a very interesting cross chart between Ethereum and Bitcoin last year, towards the end of the year in that fourth quarter, and what happened, and I'll talk about that in the vitals. The other thing that I saw today was Dash, and I am an owner of Dash, and the Dash chart is looking, all of these are looking fairly sick, but Dash actually looking the best from my point of view of a lot of the majors. And because Dash is really having multiple use case scenarios unfold, multiple tens of thousands of people using Dash, and now they inked a deal with FanDuel for NFL fantasy football. And I just want to point out, do not underestimate the power of combining sport and advertising. Some of the biggest advertisers on the planet advertise to the NFL. It's a giant demographic. It's not just men. It's not. It just covers such a wide spectrum of people that watch the NFL. And Dash, with FanDuel also, you got this whole younger generation that is playing fantasy football. I mean, there's tens and tens of thousands of people doing this. I think it's a big win for Dash. Dash right now sitting at 11th, and I will not be surprised in the next week or two if Dash doesn't claw its way back into the top 10 and come back on to the Blockchain Vitals sheet. And I get to talk about Dash even more if it does. I can't wait to see it happen. I think it will. And in the Blockchain Vitals section, I'm going to talk about the Dash weekly levels as an added bonus. All right, listen, I got to say goodbye to the YouTube crowd so we can take these vitals because the Bears are about to take the field up on the frozen tundra. Actually, it's not frozen this time of year. In Green Bay, Wisconsin, against their arch rivals and nemesis for the past decade, the Green Bay Packers. And I need to be, fully available for that snap. So let's say goodbye to the YouTube crowd.